Zombie anime usually focus on one thing, survival. But Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead asked a completely different question. What if the zombie apocalypse was actually the best thing that ever happened to you? This is still the only zombie anime I've watched, and somehow, it became a huge hit for me. The first thing that grabbed me was the presentation. Instead of going with the usual dark, gray, depressing world, this anime fills the screen with ridiculously vibrant colors. Even the blood is colorful, and the cities somehow feel alive despite being completely overrun by zombies. It sounds strange on paper, but it gives the entire series its own identity, and I absolutely loved that artistic choice. The story itself isn't something I would call groundbreaking or full of crazy plot twists. It's actually pretty simple. Akira spends years working at a soul-crushing company where he's mentally and physically exhausted every single day. Then one morning, a zombie outbreak takes over the city, and instead of panicking, his first reaction is relief because he never has to go back to work again. It's such a ridiculous premise, but it works surprisingly well. Instead of treating the apocalypse as the end of the world, Akira sees it as the beginning of his life. He writes down 100 things he wants to do before becoming a zombie, and finally starts living the life he always wanted. Every episode had me wondering what Akira would do next, and that curiosity kept me invested right until the end. Whether it was crossing another item off his bucket list, getting into another ridiculous situation, or meeting new people along the way, I always wanted to see what came next. What connected me to this anime the most wasn't the zombies, it was Akira himself. Before the apocalypse, he was already living like a zombie because of his job. Then the world falls apart, and somehow that's exactly what allows him to finally start living. I kept thinking, if something like this actually happened, I'd probably start making my own bucket list too. Maybe that's why I connected with this anime much more than I expected. At its core, this isn't really a story about zombies. It's a story about finding happiness even when everything around you has fallen apart. It reminds you that sometimes we're so busy surviving our daily routine that we completely forget to actually enjoy life. That's also why I wouldn't recommend this if you're expecting a pure horror anime or an intense survival thriller. Yes, there are zombies everywhere, but the real focus is freedom, friendships, comedy, adventure, and making the most of every day. If that sounds like your kind of story, I think you'll have a great time. There's also one thing I found quite ironic about this anime. The story showed the dangers of toxic work culture and burnout. But while the anime was airing, the production itself ran into major scheduling issues. Several episodes were delayed, and the final few episodes had to be postponed for months. We still don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes, so I don't want to assume the staff went through the exact same situation shown in the anime. But hearing about all those delays genuinely made me feel bad for the team. It's never easy seeing passionate people struggle to bring a project to completion. Thankfully, they were able to finish the season, and I think the final result was absolutely worth the wait. Overall, I had a great time with Zom 100. It is absolutely worth watching. Let me know how you found it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.